Sanao International presents Simply Football.
Hello and welcome to post-match show on FC Goa TV. You're watching Prudent and I'm Neeraj Prabhu. What a sad day this has been. As we know that FC Goa will not be making it to the semi-finals for the third edition of the ISL. The Gors were in the top four in the last two seasons, but this year it has ended on a very sad note for Zico's team. Atletico de Kolkata prevailed over the Gors by 2-1 yesterday at the Nehru Stadium. It was a strange game where Kolkata dominated most of the proceedings, but in the end FC Goa had a lot of chances to win the game in the last 10 minutes. But sadly, the last 10 minutes was the story of the season for Zico's team, where they missed a lot of chances and there was indiscipline, disorganization galore on the Gors' part, and sadly the result didn't go our way. Let's watch the highlights of the match and then come back. In the studio we have the former India striker Francis D'Souza, who will make sense of this performance by FC Goa.
The writing is on the wall. I don't think FC Goa stands any chance for qualification to semi-finals. And like I told you before, I had never seen any talent in the team that we could hope for brilliant performance last compared to edition 2. And the story has been told in the end. They were not able to deliver. And very, very rightfully, Zico has been humble enough to accept that he didn't have the players to perform. They were a little bit indisciplined and they lacked the character to show their true colors. But all the same, they did come up for a few minutes in the game. It was looking like there would be another miracle when our Goan lad Mandar put the ball in the net, and you could see the row in the stadium, the row of hope that FC Goa would once again create something like what they did against Northeast. But that was not to be. But don't take the credit away from Atletico Kolkata. They played a very organized, coordinated, well-defined match. They knew what they had to do. And very rightfully, they created a lot of chances in the beginning. They could have finished the match in the first half. Unfortunately, Katamani was saviour for FC Goa. But nevertheless, they deserved the victory, and they got it in the end.
The coach has also apologized to the fans in his post-match briefing because the fans have been keeping their faith in the coach and the team. So from the fans' perspective, since you were at the stadium, how were they trying to support the team, and how did it feel when the match ended in Kolkata way?
You know, if I had observed in the stadium that when even Goa were having their back to the wall, when ATK was pressing them, the fans were still cheering, hoping some counter-attack will bring some good result for them. But they didn't stop at that, always hopeful that FC Goa would come up with some surprise. But that never happened. But all the same, Zico also should be credited in a way that with this talent that he had, he marshaled his resources very well. He tried to give opportunities to all the players, and he tried various options in strategies and systems and tactics, which worked for some time. But you know that if you don't have the talent, they cannot deliver, and that's the bottom line. Right. So he couldn't do much, but really he tried, and he kept up the hope of the qualification still going, even in his hearts of hearts, if he knew that this was not the team that could qualify for the semis.
It was also a strange game because Atletico de Kolkata had created so many chances in the first half. It could have been a big defeat for FC Goa or a big lead at halftime for the visitors, but it didn't happen that way. So they also left a lot to be desired in their finishing, and Katimani was quite good.
In fact, yes, ATK, I think aggressively they were not so aggressive, and they were not so good in putting little power, required power into their shots to get it past Katamani. And for that matter, Katamani's judgment was perfect, and his way of stopping the ball, the options he took of stopping the ball with his feet or diving, that really saved the day for Goa very early in the match.
How was the FC Goa body language when they took to the field, since it was a do or die game? Did you see that they had been fired up for this challenge?
In fact, initially in the first half, I didn't see that was the case. But when they came in the second half, contrary to what was always happening in the past, they used to come little lethargically into the field in the second half. This time it was a little different, and it continued till Zico made those few changes, and then they were all over ATK trying to get the equalizer and the match winner, and that showed a little intent in them, and that was very heartening, and that brought the hopes in the crowd again, and the crowds kept on encouraging them and shouting for glory. But unfortunately they were disappointed.
Towards the later stages of the game, after Mandar's brilliant goal, we saw that a lot of players, even defenders, trying to come and take a shot at goal and trying to go for glory. This was indiscipline, isn't it?
Yeah, one instance was like Raju.
Yeah.
Even if he didn't get the shot on his stronger foot, left foot, he ballooned the ball right over. But as the momentum picks up, as the chase for a winner also moves, you get a little more excited. The composure is not there. The thought process is not there. So that it doesn't really good for the team. It's always advisable for the rear defenders or the midfielders to put the ball into the front of the goal, where defenders can make a mistake and the attackers can capitalize.
Could that have been avoided if they had regrouped after the equalizer? Could they have been more composed towards the last 10 minutes of the game? Because they could get a psychological boost after that equalizer, and they could have really won the game.
It is, Neeraj, it's always advisable that you don't forget your style and the way you play your football.
Right.
No matter what the circumstances are, you got to play your natural game of keeping possession of the ball and trying to move into gaps and trying to create those chances.
Absolutely.
But if you try to do something a little different, it never works for you because everybody charged up.
Yes.
And that was what had happened yesterday. Everybody was charged up after the equalizer, and they forgot to play the normal game. And I think they would have got the equalizer if they had stuck to their own game plan.
Absolutely, and that's what Zico said at his post-match press conference, that we never practice that way. Every player has got their roles defined and they have functions to execute. But the last 10 minutes, the players seem to have forgotten their roles and they went for glory themselves, trying to become hero. Here is Zico addressing the post-match press conference after this shocking or rather sad defeat yesterday.
Boa noite a todos. Eu acho que, em primeiro lugar, pedir desculpas ao torcedor do Gol, que sempre esteve ao lado do time e em nenhum momento deixou de nos apoiar.
So first of all, I would like to apologize to our FC Goa fans, because they always supported us, they always stayed by our side.
Agradeço em meu nome, em nome dos jogadores, né, e a gente vai continuar mesmo sabendo que não temos mais chance, vamos continuar honrando a camisa como profissionais que somos.
I thank here in my name, in behalf also of our players as well, even that we will not be in the playoffs, we're gonna keep playing, doing our best in these 2 remaining games that we have.
Eu acho que a eliminação ela não foi hoje, né? Ela vem dos resultados que a gente teve do decorrer da competição. Hoje foi o ponto final, né?
I think today was not what eliminated us. The elimination of us from the playoffs, it came since the beginning of the tournament, the way that we have been behaving.
Sem dúvida que a gente não conseguiu, nos jogos que a gente foi superior, transformar essa superioridade em vitória, e cometemos erros e com isso acabamos sofrendo derrotas, principalmente em casa, né? Que não é o feitio do gol a perder em casa. Nós esse ano perdemos acho que 4 ou 5 aqui, então é muito difícil quando você perde em casa, complica.
So no doubt that many games that we were superior, we couldn't finalize our chances, we couldn't get the winning, and even here at home, that where we were very strong in the past, I think we lost here 4 or 5 games here, so it was awkward to us.
É duro você ainda ser o time que conseguiu vencer, empatou, podendo vencer também do Mumbai, que é o líder da competição, né?
And you can see that the games that we played against Mumbai, even the last game here, we are the leader of the tournament, and we drew with them here, but we could have won the game.
Isso prova que o Goa não é, mesmo estando lá em último, não é inferior a nenhum time que está aí, né?
It just proves that even that Goa is the bottom of the table, we are not inferior to any other team.
Os erros ficam demonstrados. Acabei de falar isso agora para todos os jogadores que com falta com disciplina nas funções que cada um tem, eu me senti muito envergonhado de ver o time terminar todo mundo lá na frente, totalmente desordenado nos últimos minutos, quando a gente ainda tinha chance de fazer um gol. E isso foi um desrespeito muito grande.
Even I told you the players now that a team just win if they are disciplined. And I got really ashamed in the end of this game. Our team played all disorganized there. We had time to win the game and we are not disciplined. We are like all disorganized on the pitch. So I told them that I got very ashamed to see our team this way.
Você pode ganhar e perder jogo nos últimos minutos. A gente já ganhou o jogo assim. E hoje perdemos mais um assim. Isso eu avisei para eles que a gente não se desorganizasse, não todo mundo quisesse decidir. É um jogo coletivo. A parte individual ganha jogo, mas não ganha campeonato. Então hoje todo mundo nos minutos finais quis ser o herói do jogo e virou uma avenida o nosso time. Fiquei com pena de ver o Richard sozinho contra 4. 2 vezes seguida do Kokata, até que uma hora tiver gol.
I told them that sometimes we win games in the last minutes. This time we lost. But today everyone wants to be a hero, and they were all disorganized on the pitch. We could have won the game if we had kept organized our team, everyone playing our own functions and all. And I was a pity with Richarlison alone against 3 against 4 players there in the counter-attack.
E isso não é admissível no time. Isso aí a gente não treina dessa forma, a gente não joga dessa forma, e quando todo mundo quer fazer o seu herói, acaba a gente se desorganizando. Isso foi o que aconteceu hoje no final do jogo.
And we cannot admit something like that because we don't practice this way, we don't play this way. We have everyone have your own function there, but that time everyone wants to be a hero and be the hero of the match, win the game alone, and this is a collective game, it's not an individual game.
Not just in today's game, but overall when you look at the team performance or some of the players' performance, do you feel let down by the team or at least by some of the players?
Nossos jogadores não estão assim no melhor da sua condição. Os jogadores do Kolkata são jogadores de muita técnica, muita qualidade.
Today our players didn't play their best, and the Kolkata team, they are very good players of high technique and quality.
É um time que do meio campo para frente, é um time que com a bola no pé sabe o que fazer e agora no segundo tempo estava entregue ali esperando o nosso time.
It's a team that when they have the ball with them, they know how to play from the midfield to the attack, so they played very nicely. But in the second half, there was like dawn. They were waiting our team, giving chance for our team to come and attack.
Ganhando o jogo, estava esperando uma oportunidade de contra-ataque.
They were winning the game and wait for contra-attack.
E nós, depois que empatamos, nos desorganizamos.
And after we drew this game, we just disorganized.
Eles foram bem melhores no primeiro tempo, tiveram muitas chances e aí só fizeram um gol. A gente ainda teve condições de reagir, mas a hora que era para acalmar e ter tranquilidade, esperar até o final do jogo para aparecer uma oportunidade, a gente perdeu isso nos últimos 5 minutos.
So in the first half, they played much better than us. They had so many opportunities, but they scored just one goal. In the second half, we got our chances. We drew the game, and the time that we had to cool down and play our game and look for this result, we disorganized. We lost our
E teve lance que podia ser capital no jogo, né? Porque
in one game, we can see that
com 17 minutos de jogo, o Postiga tinha que ter recebido o cartão vermelho.
And you see in the 17th minute of the game, Postiga could have been sent off.
Você dá um amarelo para o Romeu por causa de uma falta e dá o mesmo amarelo para o Postiga que comete uma agressão. Eu não sei que critério é esse, até quando vão esperar para expulsar um jogador dessa forma.
So you give a yellow card to a player like Romeo, that did a normal foul, and you give a yellow card for Postiga that committed an aggression. So I don't know the criteria that the referees use.
Eu não sei, realmente é o nome, o Postiga ele não vai expulsar.
Maybe the name Postiga is
Pode fazer qualquer
player,
coisa.
so you're not sending him off.
Foi vergonhoso. Até falei com ele agora. Pô, Postiga, você é um jogador de jogar bola, não é de fazer isso.
You are not the guy that do this kind of things.
Ele falou que não, quando bota a mão na minha boca eu fico cego.
Because he told me when they put the hand in my mouth I get blind, so I do this kind of things.
Então, são lances que são capitais e que você imagina jogar mais de 60 minutos com um homem a menos.
So now you imagine to play more than 60 minutes with one man less in a game like this. So it was a crucial decision that the referee again gave a sense.
Yes, the legendary Zico, he's really upset. You can see the pain in his eyes, and he is absolutely grateful for the support of the fans. So he started his briefing by apologizing to the FC Goa fans, as this is the first time that the Gors have failed to make it to the top 4 position and qualify for the semi-finals in the ISL. Zico also slammed his players. Remember, he has been a great coach all over the world, wherever he has coached, and he's saying that this is the first time that he has seen such indisciplined performance where he is ashamed of his team. And then he also has said that matches can be won in the last minute by individual brilliance, but the tournaments have to be won by collective team effort, since football is a team game. Francis, absolutely on the head there, Zico.
Yes, he is spot on. The gentleman that he is, never afraid to speak the truth, and that's what he has done. Very great footballer and a great coach. Very rightly said, and I have been speaking to you during my past conversations, that the team was never focused. They were more in contesting referees' decisions and haggling the referees or the players, and they lost their focus, and that's what Zico is talking about. No matter what happens on the ground, your ultimate aim of winning the competition should be foremost in your mind, and it's always a collective effort. You see the way the ATK played yesterday. It was a total team effort. And you have seen this Delhi Dynamos also playing the similar way, and they are doing very well in this competition. And you need a little of individual brilliance to top up the total team combination. So that makes the ingredients of a champion, and that's what he rightly said. We had it in the edition 2, and we missed it very badly in this edition 3rd. So he is very well aware of it, and he has also marshaled his resources in a brilliant way to give some ray of hope for the FC Goa fans. And I think in the future, the players who will be continue playing in this ISL will also have to think very seriously about this aspect of arguing with the referee and losing a focus on the match and in the competition, and for what you are required to do for your team.
Right. Zico also spoke about Helder Postiga's foul. It could have been a red card, but FC Goa hasn't had luck this season at all, with many decisions not going their way. So it could have been a different game had Postiga been sent off.
Yes, I think like I always say, it's the opinion of the referee, and for me the challenge was not so reckless and so dangerous that it could have got him a broken leg. So referee discreetly used his opinion, and I think awarded him the yellow card.
Right. 2 games to be played for FC Goa. How do they lift themselves?
I think now, even though they are almost out of the competition, I think they have to play for pride. The pride for the fans, pride for Zico, and pride for themselves. They have to show what they are made of ultimately, although they were not successful. But it doesn't matter. I mean, sometimes you win some games, sometimes you lose some games. But then what character you have and you possess, and how you display it on the ground, will send a message to all the fans and the football-loving public of Goa and India.
Talking in a broader perspective, these 2 games could be crucial for FC Goa's opponents, or in other words, FC Goa could be spoilers for Delhi or Chennai.
Yeah, irrespective of that, I mean, it's your pride that matters more than anything else. I mean, they might be spoiling things for others, but that doesn't take away anything from you creating something for yourself in the end and satisfying yourself and the fans. And that should be the top priority of Zico and his team.
Right. Talking about FC Goa and their journey in the ISL, we have seen now 3 seasons of ISL. What would you say the difference was between the ISL first, where FC Goa had a long struggle, but they still managed to finish with a flourish as they got into the top 4 position or qualified for the semi-finals after late resurgence. But this season it was a bad start, and it hasn't picked up at all. So what was the essential difference in this first and third edition for FC Goa?
You know, the first edition is the edition that everybody wasn't really aware how much this competition could offer to you. Very compact, very tight features. The recovery time was very little. So I think the first edition never really gave so much of thought process to the coaches and the management and the organizers. So in that respect, the second was a better organized competition. Everybody was well prepared. They knew the type of players they could recruit and who could fit into this tighter format of the competitions. And the coaches and the players were also aware that you are never out of the competition. If you win 1 or 2 games, you can come back into the contention. So they were able to plan the strategies and the way about going about garnering points. So that has been the hallmark of the second edition. And the third edition, I think those who had lost out in the earlier 2 editions have planned very well.
Like Mumbai.
Like Mumbai, Delhi. And they have also been very, very positive in their approach. Unfortunately for FC Goa, they had a little bit of problems initially. Management, who's going to have team, the changeover of management and all this stuff. And Zico's never been had the problem of getting good players. Some of the players had left the team earlier. They would have not left the team earlier. So all these factors was responsible for the bad performance of FC Goa. And like Zico said, they didn't have much practice at home when they came back from Brazil. So that also might have contributed to their bad results they have got. But overall, let me just be very blunt and say we didn't have the potential to make it to the semi-finals.
Right. So it now depends on how FC Goa look to building in the fourth edition of the ISL. But first, they have a small matter of 2 league games to be played, and pride matters indeed for a team, isn't it?
Definitely. I mean, that's all what we play for, players play for. At the end of the day, you like to put your collar up and walk with your chest out. So that's what football is all about, the beautiful game.
Absolutely. Let's hope that FC Goa do something greater in the 2 games to come now.
Yes, let's hope for their best.
Yes. Thank you, Francis, for being
Pleasure.
here as always. That's all the time we have in this show. Thanks for watching and keep watching Prudent. Goodbye.